This
Hello.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi everyone. Can you all hear me?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So today we're going to talk about the structured query language, or we can basically call in short form as SQL or SQL. So when we talk about SQL, um, so what is SQL? When the user wants to get some information from the database file, they can issue a query. So what is a query? A query is a user request to retrieve the data or information with certain condition. A query is a user request to retrieve the data or information with certain condition. SQL is a query language that allows the user to specify the conditions. It's a query language that allows the user to specify the conditions. So when the user wants to get some information from the database file, they can issue a query. Query is a user request to retrieve the data or information with certain condition. So the user specifies certain condition. What does the program will do? The program will go through all the records in the database file and selects only those records that satisfy the condition. The result of the query will then be stored in the form of a table. The result of the query will then be stored in the form of a table. So when I talk about SQL, so the user specifies the certain condition. What does program will do? The program will go through all the records in the database file and selects only those records that satisfy the condition. Selects only those records that satisfy the condition. The result of the query, the outcome of the query will then be stored in the form of a table. The result of the query will then be stored in the form of a table. Now, SQL is a standard, but there are different versions of SQL. All the SQL is an ANSI standard. There are many different versions of SQL language. There are many different versions of SQL language. However, to be compliant with ANSI standard, they all support at least the major commands such as select, update, delete, insert, var in a similar manner. Select, update, delete, insert, where in a similar manner. To be compliant with ANSI standard, they all support at least the major commands like select command, update command, delete, insert, where is a conditional clause in a similar manner. So the different versions of SQL support all these commands. So most of the SQL database programs also have their own proprietary extensions in addition to the SQL standard. So in addition to the standard query, the commands, they also have their own proprietary extensions. So moving on to a concept called as the RDBMS. So what does RDBMS stands for? The Relational Database Management System. The RDBMS stands for the Relational Database Management System. So it is the basis for SQL and for all modern database systems like MS SQL Server, IBM DB2, Oracle, MySQL, and Microsoft Access. So it is the basis for SQL and for all the modern database systems like MS SQL Server, IBM DB2, Oracle, MySQL, and Microsoft Access. So what does RDBMS talks about? The data in the RDBMS stored in the form of tables, and the table is a collection of related data entries. It consists of columns and rows. A table consists of columns and rows, and the tables are related to each other. In RDBMS, the tables are related to each other, connected to each other. The tables are connected to each other. So the data in the RDBMS is stored in the database objects called as tables. A table is a collection of related data entries. It consists of columns and rows. It consists of columns and rows. So that way, when we talk about RDBMS, it's the basis for SQL for all the modern database systems. So when we talk about RDBMS, the data in the database tables are related to each other with common columns. There will be common column between the tables, so which would be used for connecting the data in multiple tables. So when we talk about the database table, so how does the database table looks like? So a database most often contains one or more tables. It contains one or more tables, obviously multiple tables. Each table is identified by a name. Example, the customers, the orders, and table contain records with the data. And table contain the records with the data. Below is an example of a table called as persons. The table below contains 3 records, one for each person, and 5 columns. Like the 5 columns are PID, last name, first name, address, and the city. PID, last name, first name, address, and the city. So now we have the persons table. So the persons table is used to define the person related information, where you have 3 records, PID 1, 2, 3. So where you have the last name and first name, address, and city. Last name, first name, address, and city. These are all the 5 columns that you have. So there are 3 records. Now if you have to, so what are columns and what are rows? So these are all the columns: PID, last name, first name, address, and the city. So we have 5 columns. And how many records? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 records right now. So you can have more than 100, 500, how many our numbers may be. So in this table, you have 5 columns and 3 records in the table. So with PID, last name, first name, address, and the city. Then you can divide the SQL commands into 2 categories. SQL can be divided into 2 parts: the data manipulation language and the data definition language. You can divide it into 2 categories: data manipulation language and the data definition language. The query and update commands form the DML part of SQL. The query and update commands form the part of DML part of SQL, the data manipulation language. So what are all the commands that you have under DML, data manipulation language? Select, which is to extract the data from the database. Select is to extract the data from the database. Update is to update the data in the database tables. Update the data in the database tables. Delete is to delete the record in the database file. Delete is to delete the record in the database file. So when talk about insert into, so what is insert into? Talk about insert new data into the database file. Insert the new data into the database file. So that way when you talk about DML command, which talks about select command, update command, delete command, and insert into. Delete command and insert into. Select, update, delete, insert into. These are the commands under DML. So then the query and update commands form the DML part of SQL. Then coming to the DDL part of SQL. The DDL part of SQL permits the database tables to be created or deleted. So basically, by using DDL commands, you can create the database, you can alter the database, you can create the tables, you can alter the tables, and you can drop the tables. Create database name, alter database name, create table name, alter table name, drop table name. So that way, when you talk about DDL, so under DDL you have create, alter, drop, and there is one more thing that is known as the truncate command. One more thing that we can call it as the truncate command. So that way, when you talk about the DDL commands, you have create, alter, drop, and truncate. So these are all the DDL commands that we have. So create is to create a new database or create a table. Alter is to modify the table or modify the contents of the things. Drop table is to drop a table or drop database. So truncate as well is equivalent to delete. So we will talk about that as well when we talk about the examples. Is that clear so far? Any questions?
No questions.
Others?
No.
Okay. Right. So moving on to the syntaxes, how to query the database, how to get the data from the database. So that we will discuss now. So the first and foremost command are probably the command that is widely used 90% of the times. We as part of the BA role that we would be using is the select command. The select statement is used to select the data from a database. The result is stored in the result table called as the result set. The result is stored in the result table called as the result set. So what is the syntax, like how we can basically write down the select command? Select column name or column names from table name. Select column name or column names from table name. Or you can put it as select star from table name. Star nothing but what? You need all columns. So instead of mentioning specific column, you are putting star, so which defines all the columns. That means I want to get all the columns from a particular table. So where table has a table name. Or you want specific columns, you put it as select whichever columns that you require, you mention those column names from table name. From table name. SQL is not case sensitive. Select in the capital letters is the same as select in the smaller case. You can put it as either way, there shouldn't be any problem. So now I want to select the content.
Kiran,
Yes.
sorry, I have one question regarding the result set. So what is this? Is it we need to fetch the record, the resulting record to a table, or it will automatically
It will
store the
automatically
data?
publish. Yeah. So the
So
outcome.
is it a table? Result set is a
Yes.
table then?
Yes.
Oh, it's a
So
different
the
table.
result.
Okay.
No. It is not a different table. So when we retrieve the data, it is formulated in such a way that the data should be showing up. The output should be showing up in the form of a table. There is no such table
Okay.
exists. Just that would be formed based on whatever the query that we define. So basically, you have the standard tables in the database for each project. Like according to the project needs, there will be a list of tables. So the tables are going to be like having the data, right? So when you want to query, we don't query the complete table. We query based on certain condition, or we query based on certain columns and all that stuff. So when we query it, so it goes and picks up the respective data from the database table and presents the outcome again in the form of table. That's it, tabular format. Okay, there is no such table like the output table.
So it will export in a table format. That's it.
Yes, it will expose or it will show us in the form of a table.
Okay.
So if you look at here, now this is the syntax where select is the command, So column name or column names from table name. Select column name or column names from table name. So what are the column names that you have? Where you have the select last name, comma first name. Select last name, comma first name. From table name, that is my persons table. So as we have seen, persons table has 5 columns and 3 records. I want only the last name and first name. This is the table on which I am running this query. So that means that I want the data under last name. I want the data under first name. When you run this query, you'll get the outcome something like this: last name, first name, under which you have Hansen, Ola, Svensson, Tove, and Peterson, Carey. This is how you get the outcome, again in the form of a table. That's what it means. Is that clear?
Kiran, why do we put last name and first name as a second one? Can't we make it reverse? Is it fine if we make it reverse?
See, this is how we define in the table, but that doesn't matter. While writing the query, you can change it. There shouldn't be any issue whether you put first name first and last name next. There shouldn't be any issue with it. It will still run. Okay, it is just that in the table, last name is presented first and first name is presented next. So in the same sequence we are querying. If you want to query, if you want to have first name first and last name next, in that case select first name comma last name from the persons table. Okay, that should give the results accordingly.
Okay.
You can also play around. So I'll show you where you can run these queries and practice it. Okay, all right. So select star from persons. I want all the columns. I don't want specific columns like first name and last name. I want all the columns. In that case, I put star. So what does star talks about? I want all the columns. All the columns in the sense I want a complete table. The result set will look like this: PID, last name, first name, address, and the city. PID, last name, first name, address, and the city. So which talks about the complete table, so which has all the data that is presented here. So there is something called as the distinct statement. There is something called as the distinct statement. In a table, some of the columns may contain duplicate values. So there's some of the columns can have duplicate values. That should not be a problem. However, sometimes you will want to list only the different values in a table. You'll want to have only the different values in a table. The distinct is the keyword that can be used to return only the distinct values. The distinct is the keyword that can be used to return only the distinct values in the table. For example, there are 500 records in the table, and those 500 records have the people from 5 different cities, for example. So ultimately, there are 500 people and hailing from 5 different cities. That means each city has few number of people at least. Right, so if you look at the city column, then obviously if you have all the 500 records in the table, so city column will have duplicate values. But I don't want duplicate values. I want to see which all cities from which we are operating. What do? I will use a distinct command to basically filter out the duplicate values. Only to show the unique values, we will use a distinct command. How do we use the distinct command? Select is my command. Then we talk about the keyword that is distinct is a keyword. Column names are column names from table name. Column name are column names from table name. Select distinct column name or column names from table name. From table name. So distinct is the keyword. Which column you wanted to be distinct, you mention that column name from table name. Which column you want to have the distinct values, you mention that, and then the table name. Now the select distinct example, now we have the persons table. Now we want to select only the distinct values from the column named city from the table below. Column named city from the table below. So if you run this query, we use the following select statement. Select distinct city from persons. Select distinct. Select is my command. Distinct is the keyword. Which column you wanted it to be distinct? City column. You mention the city from persons table. So what it does, it goes to the persons table, it picks up the city, and it picks only the unique values. So whatever are the duplicates, that will be filtered out. So that way sadness, I think there are 2 records for sadness. So one got filtered out because of duplication, and you see sadness and scavenger under the city column. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now the where class, so which is where conditional class, 95% of the times we use the select statement with where conditional class and more than that. So how do we write it? Select column name or column names from table name where column name operator value. column name, operator value. Select column name or column names from table name. You are putting the where condition here, where column name, operator value. So if you put the condition, so based on the where condition, it goes to the database table, it checks the table and it gives the data corresponding to the column names that we have mentioned in the query. So now we'll see the example here. Now you have the persons table. Now we want to select only the persons living in the city Sandnes from the table below. I want to see only the people living in the Sandnes city. How do I write the query? Select star from persons. Select star from persons where city is equal to Sandnes. Where city is equal to Sandnes. Star is nothing but what? I need all the columns. All columns. And where city is equal to Sandnes. What the query will do, it goes to the persons table, it queries the column city and where you see the Sandnes, and since you put star, it gives you all the columns: PID, last name, first name, address, and the city. PID, last name, first name, address, and city. You have 5 columns, and based on your query, it will give you 2 records, so which satisfy the condition where city is equal to Sandnes. Where city is equal to Sandnes. So quotes around the text fields. So if you are writing the query, if you are putting a condition, the condition if you are putting on a text, there should be single quotes. There should be single quotes. If you are putting condition on a number, there should not be any quotes. We need to remember that. So since here you are putting a condition on the text, so where you are putting condition on first name, which is a text value. So when you are putting a condition on a text value, you need to make sure there are single quotes defined. So this is the right way of doing it. This is the right way of doing it. So if you are not putting single quotes, then you will not get the result. You will not get the expected result. So if you are putting condition on a number where year is equal to 1965, so in that case we don't need any quotes. In that case we don't need any quotes. So if you put it this way, this is the wrong way of doing it. This is the wrong way of doing it. So that way, when we talk about the quotes around the text fields, so you have the single quotes for the text values, and for the numbers you don't need to mention any like single quotes. You don't need to mention the single quotes. So the operators, so the various operators that we have with the where class, the following operators can be used. Operators, for example, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, between operator, like operator, and in operator. With a where condition, where so and so column is equal to so and so value, there can be equal operator, not equal operator, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. These are the common things. Between is something like a range. If you want to check in a range, so that is when you use between. Like, if you want to search for a particular pattern, in that case you use a like. In is if you know the exact value, if you want to return from at least one of the columns, that is when you use in. That is when you use in. So there are multiple values, one of which could be the right value. In that case, if you are trying to check multiple values, in that case you use in operator. So that way, when you talk about the operators, you have multiple operators: equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, and so on. There are logical operators. We can categorize them into AND operator and OR operator. The AND and OR operator. The AND operator displays a record if both the first condition and the second condition is true. So that means that in a query, there can be multiple conditions. There can be multiple conditions. Conditions are nothing but where condition. There can be multiple things which we need to compare and get the data. So those conditions can be clubbed with AND operator or operator. How does the behavior is going to change if you use AND operator, if you use OR operator? So AND operator is a compulsion operator. So which means that if there are two conditions, then in order to get the outcome, both first condition and second condition should be true with at least one single record to get the data, to get the outcome. So both first condition and second condition should be true to get the outcome. Now when you talk about OR operator, displays a record if either the first condition or the second condition is true. If either the first condition or the second condition is true, one of these things should be fine. You don't need to worry about the second condition or the first condition. So if one of things is fine, you'll get the outcome. So that way, when you talk about AND operator, OR operator, so AND is a compulsion operator, OR is a optional thing. Now we look at an example. Look at an example. Select, which is my select command, star, I want all the columns from persons table where first name is equal to Tove, which is in single quotes. First name is equal to Tove in single quotes, and last name is equal to Svensson, which is also in single quotes. That means that I want to see person who should be having first name as Tove and last name as Svensson, who should be having the first name as Tove and last name as Svensson. There is one person whose first name is Tove and last name is Svensson. So that means that both the conditions should be true with minimum at least one single record. With minimum one single record. Only then you will see the outcome. Only then you will see the outcome. If both the conditions are not true, in that case you will not get. If one condition is true and one condition is false, you will not get. If both the conditions are true with two different records, then also you will not get the outcome. For example, I changed this query and I made this as Hansen, where last name is equal to Hansen in single quotes. So first name is equal to Tove and last name is equal to Hansen. If you get back, first name is equal to Tove and last name is equal to Hansen. So where first condition is true and second condition is true, but with two different records. This is different record and this is different record. In that case, you will not get any outcome. In that case, you will not get any outcome if you use the query like this. First name is equal to Tove and first name is equal to Hansen. Because AND is a compulsion operator, both conditions should be true with at least one single record. Then moving on to the OR operator example. OR operator doesn't care about the multiple conditions. It takes each condition separately. Where first name is equal to Tove, you'll get one outcome. And last name is equal to Hansen. Since there is one more record, you'll get the two records in the output. You'll get two records in the output. So that way, AND is a compulsion operator. So it is like should. And you need to make sure you have a common record which are satisfying the criteria. While OR is not a compulsion thing. So if one of the conditions is true, you'll get the outcome. You use OR operator. Now combining AND and OR operators. Combining AND and OR operator. So if you have to combine both. So if you are writing the query something like this. Select star from persons where last name is equal to Svensson and in brackets first name is equal to Tove or first name is equal to Ola. First name is equal to Tove or first name is equal to Ola. So what will happen? The one in the parenthesis will run first. First name is equal to Tove and first name is equal to Ola. There are two different records. Both conditions are satisfied. You'll get two records first. Two records first when you run one in the parenthesis. But there is another condition which also says that the last name of that person should be Svensson. and that is clubbed with end operator. So the last name of the person should be, so out of two, only one record whose last name is Svensson, that record will be showing up in the output. That record will be showing up in the output. So that way, when you club or combine AND and OR operator, you'll get the outcome something like this. Is that clear?
So Kiran, I have one doubt. So here when we are using the syntax, uh, if we are using the OR condition first and the AND condition later, how will that go?
Yeah. So you are changing this with R and you are making it as AND operator.
Yes.
So the one in the parenthesis will run first, where first name is equal to To and first name is equal to Ola. So what will happen if you search for first name is equal to To and first name is equal to Ola? Is there any record that matching the criteria?
Yes, there is one.
Is there
One
is
with
there
the
any person with two first names?
no, no, no.
No. There is no record. So then you will not get the outcome when we run in one in the parenthesis. But there is another condition which says last name is equal to Svensson or this one. So obviously when you check last name is equal to Svensson, which is outside the box or the parenthesis, you'll get one record whose like last name is equal to Svensson. That is this one,
Yes.
PID2.
No,
So that
Kiran,
way,
I have one doubt on that. The first name is To and first name is Ola. So, isn't it show both the records for this AND
no,
condition?
no. So
Because
that
there are
should be
two first
true.
names are there.
That is true. Those two conditions should be true with at least one single record. And the concept of two first names for a person will not be acceptable. It will not be there. So that's why you will not get any outcome.
I'm not getting it actually.
No, see for the end condition, to get you outcome, end condition when
Yeah,
we use it, when you use multiple conditions in a query,
yeah.
okay, when you use multiple
When
condition,
that,
that multiple condition should be true with at least
yeah,
one single record. Those conditions should be true with at least one single record. And conceptual wise, there cannot be a person with two first names. And is nothing but what? The one single person should have first name as To and first name as Ola. Can it be possible?
that's true. But AND condition is only fetching one record. It will not fetch multiple record.
Yeah, that's what. See, here there is no concept of a person having two first names. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that
if
I
you look
get.
at that
But
way,
this,
if you look that way, you will not get the outcome. Or if first name is equal to To and just take it as, we don't look at the logic, and if we check that first name is equal to To and first name is equal to Ola, there should be one single record, and that one single record which has first name To and first name Ola. Is there any single
yeah, that
record which
no,
has
that
first
yeah,
name?
that cannot be possible. For but
Yeah,
I'm asking you that AND condition is only working for only fetching a single record. It will not fetch multiple record.
no,
Like
no,
for if
don't
it,
say that. That is a wrong conception. Whatever that
yeah,
you
that's what I have
understood
asked
is
you.
a wrong. No. For example,
Okay.
there is one more person, 4, whose name is like last name is Svensson, and like the record 4, Svensson, To, and XYZ, city like ABC. For example, there is one more record. There is one more record. Now, if you take a step back, if you run the same query, this is Svensson, this is To. So if you run this query where last name is equal to To and last name is equal to Svensson, in that case, you will get two records. Okay, Svensson To, Svensson To. but the PIDs are different, addresses are different, cities are different. Okay, so minimum in order to get one single record, sorry, in order to get the outcome, both the conditions should be true at least once with one single record. That doesn't mean that we cannot have multiple record which are meeting the criteria. I want to see all the persons with first name as Abhishek and who is living in the city New York, for example, living in the city Delhi. How many such people can be there? Many, right? In that case, all the multiple records will be showing up, isn't it?
Yes.
So the minimum criteria is that there should be at least one person whose whose name is Abhishek and who's living in the city Delhi, right? At least to get the outcome, you should be having at least one record. That doesn't mean that you should not be having multiple records, right? So you can have multiple record, but both the conditions whatever you mentioned that should satisfy those records. So only then you will see all those records in the output. Is that clear?
Yes.
Any other questions? Right. So combining end-to-end or operator, we spoke about it. And other DML command that we have is insert into. So what does insert into command talks about? So the insert into statement used to insert the new records into the table. It is to insert the new records into the table. So how do you write the query? Insert into the table name values value 1, value 2, value 3. This is one way of doing it. The second way of doing it, insert into table name column 1, column 2, column 3, values value 1, value 2, and value 3. So in the first case, you are not mentioning the columns, just directly entering the values. In the second case, you are mentioning the column name and you are mentioning the values. So that way, when you talk about insert into statement, it is to insert the new records into the database table. It is to insert the new records into the database table. So there are two ways, multiple ways you can do it. Now, we'll look at an example. We have the persons table. Now we have 3 records in the table. What if we want to insert 4th record? Insert into the persons table, insert into the table name, values 4, Nilsson, Johan, Backend and Stavanger, separated by commas. And all the text values have single quotes. The numbers doesn't have the quote. All the text values have the single quotes. And here we are writing it the insert into statement as per whatever is defined under the first syntax. Okay, so what will happen is if you write down like this, 4 will try to sit in PID, Nelson will sit in last name, Johan will sit in first name, Backend 2 in address, and Stavanger in city. What if you change the order of these columns? Like for example, 4 is written here, Backend 2 is written here. It will throw the error message. Because the first column PID, which is a numerical value, and you're trying to have a string, so alphanumeric value. So in that case, it will throw an error message. So that's why it is advisable to have the column names so that respectively you can mention the column names as PID, last name, first name, address, and the city. Or if you're changing the order, that is also fine. You can put last name, first name, PID. If you don't remember the column order, PID, then address and city. And respectively change the values. Under PID you put 4, then Johan the last name, and Nelson the first name, you can change the order. Still, successfully you would be able to insert the records. Successfully you would be able to insert the records. Is that clear?
Yes.
So then we
Yes.
have the update statement. So what if you want to update some data? So how do we use the query to update the data? Update table name, set column 1 is equal to value 1, column 2 is equal to value 2, where some column is equal to some value. So while you are doing an update, you need to make sure you put the where condition. You put the where condition. So what will happen if you don't put where condition? It will go to the table and it will set the column 1 is equal to value 1, column 2 is equal to value 2. As simple as that. For all the records. For all the records. Column 1 is equal to value 1, column 2 is equal to value 2 for all the records. So that's a problem, right? So we don't want to update all the columns. We want to update only specific columns for a specific record. So in that case, you put the condition such that you get that record and update those columns. So if you have to look at the query, so now this is we have 4 records. One that is added in the last slide. Nelson Johan is also there. So you want to update the persons, that is update table name, set address is equal to sentence 67. Earlier it is backend to end scavenger. So now I want to change it to sentence 67 backend to and scavenger. So now I want to set the the address to sentence 67. City is equal to Sandnes, where last name is equal to Nelson and first name is equal to Johan. Based on where condition, it goes to the persons table, get the record of Nelson and Johan, and update the address to sentence 67 and city to Sandnes. And city to Sandnes. Sentence 67 and city is equal to Sandnes. Is that clear?
Kiran, I have one question, which is in general. When we extract a table from the database and do all the modifications, so will the actual database will be changed according to whatever we are changing in the extracted table?
Yes, the data will be updated, but you need to have the permissions for that. If you want to
Okay.
update that, you should be having the permission, access to the database, and you should be able to run this update command, insert into command. But in general, if you want to update multiple records, you can't do it manually by running query multiple times, right? Let's
Yes.
say I want to update 100 records, 200 records. You'll do it in back end and update to, like, there will be jobs running, right? The
Yes.
weekend jobs are the end of the day jobs. So you'll update and upload that file to the system, and you run a job. It will update the data into the database tables accordingly.
Okay. Got it.
And so there is a batch job that will run automatically. It will update the data.
Okay.
Okay. For one record, if you want to change, you can probably use this one. But we need to know how to use the syntax first.
Okay.
So coming to the delete statement, the delete statement used to delete the rows in a table. So if you want to delete the columns in the row in an existing table, in that case you use delete statement. So how to use it? Delete from table name, where some column is equal to some value. Delete from table name, where some column is equal to some value. So what will happen here? So if you don't put where condition, again it will delete all the records. So that is why where condition is very much needed here. Delete from table name, where some column is equal to some value. What will happen is it will go to the table, it will get the record based on the where condition, and it will delete that record from the database file. It will delete that record from the database file. Now you have the persons table. you want to delete from persons where last name is equal to Nelson and first name is equal to Johan. What it does, it goes to the table and there is a fourth record where first name is equal to Nelson and Johan and last name is equal to Nelson. That record will be deleted from the persons table. That record will be deleted from the persons table. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so with this I'm going to stop here for today. So in the next session we will talk about how to delete all the rows and the respective things, and I'll show you where we can practice these things, like by running the query, where do you want to see, play around, understand the things. It's pretty much easy, but the only thing is unless you practice it, you'll not be able to remember the syntax. You'll forget it easily. So that's the reason why you need to practice it, and I'll show you where you can practice. There you can play around and see how you are updating the data, how you are deleting the information, etc. Okay. So thank you so much and see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.